Okay, this is my first attempt at a YouTube video. I'm going to do a conversion on a 805BB. I'm going to remove the pot from it, show you how to do that. So hopefully you don't destroy the thing when you're doing it. Of course, first thing we're going to do, it comes with this big wheel on the top, a small Phillips screwdriver. Going to remove that, get that out of our way. Now we're going to flip it over, and you'll find 3 little Phillips screws down here. And you unscrew each one of them about 3/8, half of an inch to get it free from the other end. Right there. There we go. I had to do this for the InMoov robot. It's required to have the potentiometers outside the servos so that you can take a real position rather than a servo position. We have some gears that turn the shoulders, a couple other things, and we don't want to measure the turn of the servo, we want to measure the turn of the shoulder. So we pull the pot out and attach it to the shoulder rather than to the servo. Take them screws out, you'll see the back just peels right up, no problem. And now we have to get this board out of here, and that's the tough part. First we're going to flip it over and see the top of it, and you'll find out that this will pick right up off here now. Those screws you had on the bottom were what held it together. You'll see a whole bunch of screws here. One thing we're going to do too is you can see this little knob right here on this one part. We're going to cut that off because that will allow us to rotate the servo continuously, and that's what we need to do in order to run our gearbox. Maybe I'll even show you that gearbox in a minute, but we're going to take all the little gears off. I like to kind of stack them up in the order they go. There is a little bit of grease on them. You don't want to remove any of that if possible. There you can see them gears kind of maybe turned over there. There you can see them piled up there. I'm kind of stacking them so I know where they're at. This will just pull off. I'm going to set that down. Now if you look, this little black tab right there, that's the actual tip of the servo we want, but the servo is underneath there. First thing we can do is we can pull this little thing off. We don't need that. We're not going to need it. I save them because I save everything. Now comes the difficult part. I like to take these pins out. They go back in real easy. Not much way to confuse which one goes where. I do leave the big one in, but now here's where the option comes. The old method was to put something in here, like a screwdriver, push down on this really hard and try to break it free. Pry from here and try to pry the board out. Doing that, you stand about depending on how good you are with your hands, anywhere from a 20% to a 100% chance of breaking something. So, as was suggested by someone on the InMoov blog, we're actually going to unsolder the motor. See how difficult that is. This is a little ground strip here. Little ground tab. I remove some of the solder from that. Maybe this won't work. Should have a solder sucker here, I guess, shouldn't I? Be a little tricky here. You see how I open that one up? I used to be better with a soldering iron than I am now. I'm getting older. Pretty fluid there. I'm going to do now, I got a little start on it, is I'm going to try to pry the one end out a little bit. See if I can get a start on it anyway. I'm just going to use a sharp knife. You can use a screwdriver or jackknife, whatever you want. I'm going to try to slide it in the side there. Where you can see I got this edge popped up. Normally what you'd do is you just keep working on that, and that's how you'd break the whole thing free, but I'm going to get a little pressure on it. Go back to my soldering iron. See if I can't get this to move a little bit. Yep. Moved enough that it released the pressure on my knife. Try that again. I can feel it loosening up. I'm going to try to get some of the solder off this again. You can wipe soldering iron on your blue jeans or a wet washcloth. Try to remove some of that solder. Solder wick would be a much better method here. But not trying to teach you soldering skills, trying to teach you how to get this servo apart without ruining it. Okay. You know, normally you might just want to think, I'll just pry it apart like everybody, but at $40 a whack for these things. And that's if you can find them that cheap. I see them go for $59 on list, so.
I got my keys back.
You did, huh?
Yeah, Ben had them.
Huh.
Can you believe that?
It is hard to believe, isn't it?
I thought so.
Now that I got that side free, the other side shouldn't be too bad. Still pinned in there a little bit, so I'm going to use a little bit of pry on it. There it goes. Just came free. Put my soldering iron down here. Okay, now that I've got that broke free, it will pull out. Yeah, I have my ground reconnected here, hang on. There we go. Now it's broke free. See the motor sits there? Now, you see down in there, there's that potentiometer we want. You can see the wires connected to it. This is a better method than ripping that baby out of there. I just take my little screwdriver now. You can see down in there. I take. And I'm going to need a jeweler's glasses or screwdriver for that. It's very, very small. Hang on. In the back. I'm going to take that little screw out of there now. I kept blocking the light, I know, but you can see it in there. One little screw holding it. I'm just going to undo that little Phillips screw. Okay. Come right out. Now you can see. Come up here and just push down on that little tab. Push it right through. Bam. Potentiometer. Okay. Now what I did with mine, what I like to do, is I unsoldered the wires there. And servos come with a connector so that you can connect the battery in the servo to your controller, so you don't have to use the controller's voltage. It's like a Y. I dissected it, and I took the regular servo end, part of it, one of them, and I soldered it. This is a same potentiometer, only it's out of a older model. I believe the new ones are plastic, the old ones are steel. But I soldered that jumper to this. And on this end here, I solder the female end of this so that it will just plug in, and that gives me almost enough room for all of my pots on my InMoov, except one I had to use an extension, but still this is very handy because you can just unplug them. But anyway, there's the pot. We're gonna scrape off a little bit of the glue. Take the soldering iron. You want to remember the color code here, of course. On half of it, the InMoov robot, you have to reverse the green and the red for the right side, shoulder and armpit, shoulder and bicep, I guess. Shoulder and bicep, and on the left one, you want to put them back to the same order. So this one is going on the left side because I fried one. So I'm going to put it back on the same exact way as this, which is hard telling if it's the same or not because they're different, but I'm going to write it down. And I'm just going to draw it so I can't mistake. I'll draw a square thing in it. 3 tabs, just like up there. I'm going to go green, and this is the top view, because I'll forget. And it is green, yellow, red. So I'm going to want to put it back on the other one the same way. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and unsolder them wires now. Smell a little glue burning here. And just like that, I have the potentiometer. I can add either the little jumpers like I talked about there, or you can just solder in some longer wires, whichever way you want. We're going to go ahead and put the servo back together. First thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to take this case, and we're going to want to file a small groove here for the wires to have a spot to come out, so I'm going to grab my little round file. Okay, I'm going to take this, and I'm just going to file glue right here. If you don't file a groove there, it will pinch them. I've had it pinch them. I'll actually show you one here in a second, maybe. I'm going to blow all the dust out of it. Yeah, it's probably close. And then what you got to do is, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up these. First thing I'm going to do is open up these two holes. They'll open real easy now with nothing underneath them, and make the reassembly a lot easier. So just boom, just like that. That one opened up. It'll be difficult, of course. I'll be careful there, I guess. Well, the first one sure worked quick, didn't it? Well, when all else fails, cheat. Well, okay, what I'm going to do then is I'm just going to use that solder to hold it together. Okay, I'm going to set my soldering iron down here where I can get it easy enough, rather than put it back in its rack. Try not to burn myself here too bad. And it ain't going to cooperate. So I'll put it away. But anyway, we're going to take this now, and we're going to see no potentiometer anymore in there. I'm going to take these wires and tuck them right next to this, like so, and put this back in here. You can see I got them holes, them wires come out this hole. Okay. Okay. Just kind of shove it down. Now the only place it won't go down right now, of course, is right there. So I'm just going to heat that up with a little pressure pushing down on it while I do. Oops, that's the hot one. Need some solder on this thing. Nothing to transfer the heat. It's hot when you do that. Need a better method here. Let's set it right on this, maybe. Apply some pressure here. Something won't get hot. I don't care if it does. This does not want to. Probably soldered on there. Oh yeah, it sure is. Once you have the hole broke back open, okay, now we can snap this back into place. Once we can make sure these wires are tucked away good. Oops, wrong side. Put my groove on this side, didn't I? So now we're going to run them wires down there through that. Take this. Well, I have to clean this tip up. There we go. There we go. Now, base clean everything up first. No, it just slides right in real easy. Once again, we have the servo wires sticking out here. So now I'm just going to put this on it kind of sort of, just to hold it. Going to solder them back up. Boom. 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 Try to get a cold solder joint there. Okay. Now, see, it's all back together. We didn't have to pry that motor out of there. That motor is glued in there really good. If you pry that baby out of there, like I say, you stand a good chance of breaking something. So now what we're going to do is, like I say, normally we would cut this tab off. We just take a knife. I just took a razor knife and set it on the table like that and pried straight down on it and wobbled it. Took a pair of pliers, broke it off. Show you that, I guess. I just took a little razor knife like this. I'm going to unplug my soldering iron because it's hot next to my arm here. Okay. Then I just took this and I just put it right up against the edge there. And I wiggle it back and forth and apply some gentle pressure, but you gotta push on it. It's a hard plastic. I tried to take it all the way down. Looks good. And then I just take a pair of needle nose pliers. I just grab that tab. Make a lie out of me and I just break it off. Okay. You could cut it, I guess, both ways, but I just snap it. Now I have no stop there. So now this servo will spin continuously. It won't hit a stop. So now that we got this soldered back in, I'm going to set this back up. Okay. This longer one goes in here. Short one goes here. Now we haven't damaged them teeth at all because we didn't beat down on them or anything. The little metal teeth in there. Okay, first thing that's going to happen is this goes on, or one of them. Let's see, yep, this one. I do believe that goes there. And this goes here. And this goes, let's see, then I think this one. This one goes next. No. This one has to go on, of course, before the other one. So put that one on. Snaps down on the bearing. This one goes like so. You have to get the teeth to match up. Like so. And you take this one like so. And you can see it's all back together. Just like new, I hope, minus the servo, or pot. Then you take the top. See the bearing, sometimes that bearing comes out, a little washer underneath it, and you just put it back in, that metal bearing down there. Then you just take. But you can see there's a little gap here. That's because this fell out. We might as well put that back on, seeing as I see it, before I get too far. It's just a little rubber gasket. Does not make it waterproof. Moisture proof, I guess, maybe. Going to reassemble that. And now that that's back on, now I'll snap this back on there, and haha, like new. Flip it over. This will only go on one way. The space between, okay, this top, I'm sorry I'm putting it too close here, but these two holes are not the same, so this will only go on one way. And it looks backwards, maybe. It should just drop right down if it's lined up right. If it ain't, it won't. And you just take, hold it together kind of. Oops, screwdriver, not a file. And screw these back in. Got some of that grease from in there on my fingers, so a little slippery, but. And back together. Okay, I got the 3 wires hanging out. I'll go grab the one I burned out that I'm replacing. I'll show you how it looks when I did do it. find it.
Isn't it Sarah?
Oh, here it is. Right behind the camera. Okay, see what I did. You can see here I soldered this. This is the female end, so that this will just plug right in. And boom, bango, bongo. I like it. Okay, I'll do the same to this. I'm actually going to tear this one apart and solder them on there, seeing as I kind of let the smoke escape from this one. But anyway, that's how we do it. Hope you enjoyed it. That's 30 minutes actual time.